Hello. It is Friday Fun Day on today's Movie Talk. We are talking about the possible lineup for Phase 4 in the MCU, making some predictions here. And then also we are talking about a recent casting rumor that Michael Rooker, he might be in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. They work together on so many films, so that story kind of makes sense. I kind of hope it's going to be true. We're going to dig into all these details with two very special people. One you're getting on this set every single Friday, and the other you're going to have back as often as she's free because she is high in demand. It is Sinead Vries and Josh Macuga. Hi.
Perri, it's great to be here.
I didn't get the dress code today. I should have worn green.
Friday greens.
I don't know what I was thinking. I had a different shirt on like 30 up until 30 seconds I left the house. So telepathically, you must have been like, we're green.
Sinead and I have kind of been on the same telepathic page since the beginning of TV Talk. So
don't worry, I'll fall into step soon enough. Next Friday, it's for Orange.
Oh, Orange.
Let's see who remembers that. Okay. No one's going to, not even me. All right, our first story today is that MCU story. So during a recent investors call, Disney CEO Bob Iger said that they're going to announce the next batch of Marvel Studios movies this summer. Specifically, he said he's guessing they will announce later this summer. He also mentioned that if you caught Avengers Endgame, then there were a lot of clues in that film as to movies that may be coming. So, first off, before we even try to fill in this release calendar here, when do you think this announcement is realistically going to hit? Are we talking San Diego Comic-Con? Are we talking D23, which is in August, or maybe somewhere in between?
If he said later in the summer usually means August.
Yeah.
Like if somebody says to me, hey, we should get together later this summer, I think August immediately.
He should have chosen his words wisely and just said the dog days of summer. Isn't that technically August?
That would be the August,
late August, early September, I don't know.
Right, and you get in that depression era of August because you think about when you had to go back to high school, right? Which is like August 15th, August 16th, like, summer's over, I got like sports camps and all that BS, right? So maybe he's trying to cue the doldrums, get rid of the doldrums, so like August 19th maybe. Yeah. Or when's D23? Do we even have a date for that?
D23 runs August 20th to the 25th, and then San Diego Comic-Con is July 18th to the 21st. So that sounds late-ish summer to me too.
Well, I think anything in July they're not going to do. Families are on vacation. All the parks are a little too hot. July's a hot month. Then August gets a little slow. And they're like, D23, let's spice it up a little bit. Maybe it's the last thing of D23. And they're like, oh, thanks for coming to D23. Iger comes down dressed like, like he's got the fireworks coming out of his, he is Captain Marvel, but he's a man Captain Marvel. And he's got fireworks coming out. He's on fire. They light him up. And then Iger comes down. He's like, you thought it was over. Endgame is just the beginning. Russo brothers come out with a t-shirt cannon shooting stuff off. In comes Captain America. He's like, you thought I was old? Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. It's about to get weird. And then out comes Tony Stark. He's like, you thought I was dead? Spoiler alert, I'm not. Hit it back with all that Hank Pym juice, quantum realm. It starts all over again with the first Avengers.
The problem with this is now whatever they wind up doing, I'm going to be disappointed that it's not that.
See, I told you.
$100,000 million that doesn't happen.
That's not what happens.
The other possibility here, though, is because for other iterations of the MCU, they did the thing at the LCAP where they had like a separate event and they put stuff on the screen and they laid everything out there. So I don't know. Is there any potential that could be the way things go?
I feel like they should do that because I feel like this is kind of like a fresh start. Obviously, Spider-Man has to like kind of end this phase, but I do think that they have to give us a couple of months. I don't think they need to do a whole production, but I like the idea of it being like all about the next phase. So that's why I feel like they could do a separate event. But I also feel like, when does Disney Plus officially hit? Is that also August?
It's later in the year. Like late fall, I believe
November.
The
Mandalorian launches in November, yeah.
So I know because The Mandalorian is the first one.
Yeah.
But I also
Did you get that as a sound clip?
But I also feel like they need to like separate everything right now because Disney Plus is going to have a lot of like press and marketing and like there's going to be a huge push for that. So I feel like everything needs to be separated very nicely.
I think this is wishful thinking, but my prediction is MCU, all announcements are going to wind up being San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, that would be dope, but I just don't think we're going to get that early.
They never do Comic-Con anymore.
No, they never do.
Well, they didn't last year. I think they might be back this year. And then they use D23 for a whole... They
Disney
have
Plus.
so many other things. And now we can't forget that they also have another juggernaut of a franchise in Avatar. Granted, we have a little while until Avatar stuff comes out, but D23 would be the perfect place to promote unrelated things to the MCU and Star Wars, because they also have Star Wars Celebration. So Star Wars Celebration, Comic-Con where they have Marvel stuff, and then D23 where they have live action adaptations, Disney Plus shows, all that other stuff.
Wait till, okay, so D23 is only 5 days, right? So we're thinking by like 2023, it's actually going to be 23 days. It's going to be like a month long of Disney announcements, right? After they've just bought everything. Okay, so you're saying 5 days. So day one, you give us Disney Plus. Day two, you give us like every animated one. They're going to bring live action. Like, we actually got Foxes to make the Robin Hood movie. Then day three is all Avatar. So everybody's dressed in blue. All the parks be like, if you can spot the little blue guy, you win a free trip to wherever. Day four is all of, all the whatever else that they're going to put in there. And then day five, they're like, it's MCU day. Bum, 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 bum. And then it just goes insane. Like, there's a Black Panther panel. There's going to be another Black Panther panel. Then there's going to be a Black Widow. If you didn't want more black stuff, we're going to give you Black Ant-Man. Everything is just going to be in that morning port. Black Panther, Black Widow. Then boom shakalaka, Captain Marvel 2. She's going to come out of nowhere. And then you have your whole MCU D, and then they're going to go like, let's cut to the El Capitan. And then zing, zang, zong. Jimmy Kimmel's going to be like, thanks for tuning in. And he gets all of the Avengers that are still alive. He even goes back in time to get, what's her name? Peggy Carter. She makes an announcement on Kimmel. All the people on Kimmel, they do like a 3-hour Kimmel. That's all D23.
So you're basically just like, dump all the information in one specific spot and don't spread any of the love throughout the year.
Why would they? They want all the money and all the viewers and all the live stream, right? Why are they going to give it to San Diego Comic-Con?
I just feel, because the only reason that I do think that if they weren't going to do it during Comic-Con, they'd do it separately and they wouldn't focus it all at D23. It's because I think that they're going to use D23 to push Disney Plus. Like, I feel like that's going to be this is the biggest thing they've done in a really long time in terms of like actual internal business things. And I think that they know they need to get every single person on board, because they know Star Wars people are going to get it. I mean, we're all going to get it. But like everybody else, this is their one opportunity to sell it.
They also have to start that off in a way that day one, when it launches, says this is something that isn't only going to compete with Netflix, it's going to wind up topping it.
Live from Star Wars Land, it's D23's Disney Plus celebration. And out walks Pedro Pascal. He takes off the helmet. He pulls it off. He's like, are you guys ready for new Mandalorian footage? And then in comes a 6th spaceship. Off walks Benioff and Weiss. And they're like, boom, here comes our trilogy. Like, what's the trilogy going to be about? They're like, Old Republic. And then Macuga's like, I just still don't know what Old Republic means.
Where's Ryan Johnson?
Ryan Johnson's out there selling the turkey legs in Disneyland because people still don't like The Last Jedi.
That's gross.
And then boom, they're like, did you guys know that more stuff was going to be on Disney Plus? And then boom, out walks just like every character in the history of Disney. They're like, did you guys think it was going to be on Disney Plus? Because guess what? It is. And then all of the Fox employees that lost their job when Disney bought Fox, they're going to come out and be like, they're all rehired at Disney. We took the Fox slate and we just made it Fox World, and it's now in Anaheim.
Oh, you just sold me with the rehiring of every single employee.
Don't you think that's a pretty good show?
Whatever's happening, you need to share, because this is the happiest I've ever seen you.
I'm pretty sure it's the gummy bears. Am I right?
Yeah, it's
the gummy bears. Let's take Star Wars, Disney Plus, all that other stuff out of the equation. Focus on the untitled MCU release dates that we got when they had that big calendar update the other day. So very, very briefly, we have May 2020, November 2020, February 2021, May 2021, November 2021, February 2022, May 22, July 22. That's 8 movies total. 8 movies total.
And we're not counting Spider-Man in this, right?
No.
I have looked at a lot of other prediction calendars, and many are including it, but because it's a Sony distributed movie, I don't think that Disney is accounting for it right now. So with that in mind, where do you think some of these upcoming releases are going to land? Like, let's say The Eternals, we have that one, we have the Black Widow movie, there is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, there's so much more. There's Shang-Chi, that's another big one. There's also...
Who's Shang-Chi? Is that Doctor Strange too?
He's going to be the first Asian superhero in the MCU, directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Have you ever seen Short Term 12?
No.
You should watch that movie.
Okay.
That director is directing this movie, and
Awesome.
that's a movie that stars Brie Larson, and it is phenomenal.
Really?
That's in the mix. And
Okay.
then there's a whole bunch of other things up in the air that we haven't gotten concrete information on in the recent days, I guess. There's like the potential of Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2. There's other projects that are further along. There's also the idea of maybe a Thor 4. Then are the mutants going to be added to the MCU through Fantastic Four or through an X-Men movie? No.
No.
That is, I have a feeling that's the cutoff line. So, given that release
And
date
we're done.
calendar, what do you think we're getting at the beginning, and what do you think we're getting later on?
Okay, beginning obviously is going to be because they keep talking about this Eternals movie,
Yeah,
like
that's- I
all this
agree with
casting of Eternals, right?
Yes.
Obviously, but I think our first movie is going to be the Black Widow movie.
Yes.
That's going to be the first one we see because we already have the casting. We have David Harbour, who talked about it on Comic Book Shopping here in Collider. You guys can check it out whenever. I think that's going to be an early one because what that does is that gives us that like 5-year gap in between in the time jump and Endgame. That gives you the gap that because Black Widow's running that gap. So there had to have been something in there. And you got to imagine that she's kind of tracking Hawkeye as what were they calling him? What's his like? Ronan. Right?
If you want to learn more about Ronan, Roka did a wonderful explainer.
John Roca, everybody. He's fantastic. So you got Black Widow. Then
Hey,
I think
Roca.
you go Eternals because you're going to have to introduce these people because
Yeah.
I have no idea who the Eternals are. And for the casual fan like myself, you need to introduce.
Weren't the Eternals? We
No.
do know who they are.
The Inhumans is what you're thinking.
No,
of.
I'm thinking of the gold people from Guardians.
Oh, no, you're thinking
The
of
celestial people.
Their name is escaping me right now. Elizabeth Debicki was the leader.
Yeah. But like, wasn't that in that world?
Well, the Eternals is part of the cosmic MCU, but they aren't that group of people.
Right. But like, didn't they?
The Sovereign. Thank you.
Thank you. John
Roka.
Roca, everybody.
I almost feel like I don't want a Black Widow movie first. I feel like if you're going to start the phase like moving forward.
Right. Okay.
Right. So it's just for me, I'm just like another origin story right off the bat.
I don't think it's going to be an origin story because we already
don't think it's
no,
gonna be an origin story?
Definitely not.
I actually like your take on it. I think most are predicting it's going to be a prequel, and we're going to see what life was like for her even before she was
Because
introduced in Iron Man 2.
Here's my thing, and we said it on the live chat on Twitter before we went live here on YouTube, is that I really don't like space. When Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. went to space, I was like, oh, God, here we go. Like Iron Man's trapped in a spaceship. Oh, God, here we go. It's like I don't know the rules of space in the MCU. Half the time they're just like hanging out in space. The other half the time they're dying in space. Again, I don't know
Well, it's appropriate to our knowledge of space where we don't really know what the possibilities are out
That's
there.
very true. And
Right.
I don't know if I want that. I'm already scared of the ocean, let alone space.
Well, good thing
Okay?
there's no MCU movies taking place in the ocean. I do think
That's-
you're right, though.
Yet.
There
Yet.
could, instead of Aquaman,
Okay, so
we have
you like
Seaman.
you want to see them like grounded a little bit.
Well, because no, what I'm saying is
Literally
I
and
loved.
actually,
Yes,
you know?
yes. What I love is that thought of the 5 years when it was The Leftovers.
Right.
The the world in the MCU was the show The Leftovers, right? And half the world was gone. What did that look like? What were the pockets of craziness that were happening, and what was Black Widow doing to like qualm that to be a superhero? I think that sounds badass.
I'm very into that idea. And if that is the idea, I think it would be the perfect movie to come out first on this list. And
Yes.
then after that, I'm going Eternals. And then after that, I would probably put my money on Shang-Chi. And then the one that's a toss-up for me right now is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Because right now, based on the calendar, that is a summer movie. It has been a summer movie, even when it opened in August.
got the summer music.
It usually has like a little bit of a lull in August at the box office, but that one kind of like blew everyone away. So I want to give that one the May 2021 spot. The thing is, though, it's shooting in 2020. So given the fact that that's so close to the Suicide Squad, I kind of want to move that to the May 2022 date, but that upsets me because it's so far away.
That's crazy to think about that we wouldn't get a Guardians 3 until 3 years.
Especially since Thor is on. Thor? Since
Thor.
Thor is, but when you said Thor 4, I was like, oh man, that's good.
Well, okay, wait. Here's my prediction with Thor 4. that can't be a thing.
I know.
I think that movie is going to be, so let's say Guardians 3 comes out May 2021. I think that on May 2022, we're going to get something that is a little bit of a Thor 4 Guardians mashup
That's
where
what
it almost feels like a team-up movie.
Well, that's
Yes.
what I thought. I thought if we're not, are we doing spoilers yet, or
Yeah,
like, what
it's
is the
fine.
deal? We are. We're good.
the Russos lifted the band.
$2
Go for
billion
it.
plus. If you haven't seen it yet, you're my wife.
Yeah, really? She hasn't seen it?
No, we
Oh,
didn't get to it.
I've always said that I thought that it was going to be a Thor Guardians like team up ever since Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like that's the best place, and I almost feel like Asgard's done. As much as I love that world, I'm also like, we've seen it, we've been there, we've blown it up.
It's an old Vegas hotel
we've
now.
Literally we've destroyed it, and now we're watching it rebuild. It's cool. Goodbye.
Yeah.
You know,
it's that club on Hollywood Boulevard that's still around. You're like,
still
wait,
around.
Playhouse is still open?
And then it's like, oh,
I would go there.
like I would go there every once in a while and like still have a good time,
Sure.
but like every weekend, not so much, you know?
Right,
So, but like
right.
I do like the idea of moving forward. I like your idea of a Black Widow prequel rather.
I thought you were going to say Bob Iger with the fireworks, but never mind.
No, I like that idea too. It's just like, it's never going to happen.
Oh, right,
so
right.
I have to be realistic with myself.
Sure.
I like that idea of a prequel. I really don't think that that's that exciting.
Okay.
Because I honestly
Are
like.
we talking about a prequel though,
Well, he's
or
in
the 5-year period?
The prequel to Endgame.
Well, because it's also like, think about, bless you.
Bless you. Jeez, Roka.
It's Friday, baby. Nothing like a solid sneeze in the background from one John
That was
Aroka.
like a fart sneeze.
Yeah. Yeah, got it, guys.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
That almost blew me off my camera over here.
Roka, Matrix sneeze.
I mean, what I was saying is like the whole point. She's like, I have to keep going. It didn't seem like there was a lot going on. Like her sole mission in that 5 years, the only thing that was keeping her going was tracking Hawkeye.
Or was there?
Well, she was also like sad Nat for
She
those
was
5
sad
years.
and
Sad
depressed, and like she wanted so badly for there to be action. I feel like
wait.
they've already told us nothing happened.
Would a funny web series be like Black Widow trying out new careers? Like she's like becomes a pop
Yeah.
singer, but there's not enough people
My
to buy
boyfriend
tickets.
was like, I came up with the perfect one-off for Hawkeye, because I'm always like, Hawkeye, it just drives me
so
nuts.
boring.
Yeah, and I well, literally before we saw Endgame, he's like, what are you gonna do when everybody dies? And I was like, cry my eyes out, and I was like, but I don't think everyone's gonna die. I do know who is gonna die though. He's like, who? And I was like, Hawkeye. And I was just
Hawkeye
like,
didn't die.
No, he didn't die. I was so disappointed. I was like,
There
are
you
you
go.
kidding me? That was the one person I bet on. But he was like, I have the perfect idea. Hawkeye just runs an apartment, and like he just fights the people who piss him off in his apartment building.
So it's basically like
Three's Company,
it's
but with
like,
bow
it
and
sounds like
arrows?
you're going a little low key compared to the Raid. Now
Yes,
I'm picturing like
totally.
Hawkeye in a
Yeah.
Raid.
Or like Dread.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
I just
actually.
feel like in order for them to make like these one-off things happen, because we know Hawkeye's getting a show, and I actually feel like that's way better for him.
Yeah.
But a Black Widow movie and all these like things to happen now after Endgame, it has to be something fresh and new. Don't take me to before Endgame.
Whatever it is, they better do that character justice, because
Yeah.
this movie has been a long time coming. I got a lot of faith in Feige and the crew at Marvel, so fingers crossed they nail that. We are going to hit our second story today, which is the Michael Rooker Suicide Squad story. But before we get there, we got a little preview of some upcoming content on Collider Video this weekend.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well. Once again, it's every Saturday and Sunday on the Collider video feed, and also you can listen to us on podcast, on the Movie Talk podcast feed every Saturday and Sunday.
In addition to Weekend Mailbag, you are also getting a Game of Thrones review live after the episode airs, so don't forget to tune in. Only 2 episodes left. Can't believe it. Moving on to story number 2 now. We've got a rumor out there, courtesy of The Wrap. That outlet is reporting that Michael Rooker is in talks to play King Shark in the James Gunn-directed The Suicide Squad movie. Rooker has appeared in every feature film directed by Gunn, and also a whole bunch of movies that Gunn produced as well, including The Belko Experiment. So, first question, guys. I want you to tell me, who is King Shark? Go.
Well, it's not John Roca. He's King Awkward.
So awkward.
Sneezing, moving chairs that clearly don't make a lot of noise. Michael, okay, first of all, King Shark, he what his powers are is that he puts on, he's like Shark Dress Man, okay, which was a like a little known superhero that was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know that Dorian Watchy was a big Shark Dress Man. Every girl crazy about a Shark Dress Man. So... King Shark, what he is that when he's outside of land, he's just a guy, but he's got like a lot of teeth, but the teeth kind of like stay up there, tough to brush. But then anytime it rains, it hits his shark suit and plonk, he becomes this giant shark. And he's got still human legs, which sort of is very confusing, but he's like fast, but also bitey.
Do you agree, Sinead?
I agree with the bitey. I don't know if he's an actual shark. I think maybe it's more like metaphorical.
Oh, like a card shark?
Like no, not that metaphorical. More like his violence comes from his mouth.
Okay.
But not in
Flashbacks to when
not
you
in a
came-
good way, like
you remember when you
very
came up
violent
with
way.
those would you rather questions for 47 meters down?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Well, lucky for you guys, we have a king shark expert in the building right now. You're never going to guess who it is.
Who is it?
It's Awkward. Making
It's
noise.
King Awkward himself, one John King Roca.
You're all wrong. King Shark was created in 1994 by Carl Kessel. He was to be a villain for Superboy. That was his thing when Superboy was a big deal at the time. His dad is king of all sharks. His real name is Nanua, if you can say that. Nanua, there you go. He's born in Hawaii. Sometimes he gnaws his mother's arm off for sustenance.
It's good.
Biting, you're on the right
Yeah,
track.
biting thing.
biting.
You were there.
His mom, though.
His dad is also known as the Shark God. There were some issues with his origin, but then in this recent Aquaman series, it was confirmed he is the son of the Shark God. Now, what's crazy
thank
about
God we
him?
figured that one out.
Yeah, it's a really big deal. He's gone from great white to hammerhead to great white in the look. So not the
interesting.
only one changing their look, Sinead, as you do with your hair often. And so you see what he's got.
Wow,
going
that's a
on
low
there.
blow, not
And
needed.
then-
We're definitely going to fight after this.
Yeah,
we are.
for sure.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'll do it right now. I don't care. The camera's on.
His superpower sneezes.
I'll blow her off. If I can blow her off from here, imagine what I do close up.
Yeah.
All right.
Gross.
You're like Psyduck from Pokemon.
Oh, what is Psyduck?
Never mind.
That sounds like a.
He's been a member of the Suicide Squad twice. He's a member of Secret Society of Supervillains and the Secret Six. Gail Simone wrote for him. It's pretty good stuff. His flesh provides protection against pressure of the deep and physical attacks. He can swim at great speeds. He
I
goes
swam in high school.
crazy. Huh? Yeah,
I was a swimmer in high school.
You're all-American. Josh will tell you that.
You've told me that.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
4 or 5.
Plenty of times.
Yeah, I think you have.
No
He
big
has,
deal.
he has enhanced strength and endurance, and he can also regenerate body tissue. But here's the thing: when he smells blood in the water, he goes crazy. He becomes even more superhuman, like a real
like a
shark.
shark.
Mhm.
See, I nailed that, sort of.
You did.
You
You're
did.
on
So
top of it.
he is a shark.
He is a shark.
He's like a
But a
great
shark
white.
man, he has legs.
He's a shark man.
But he
has
can
legs.
go on land.
Yes, he can walk on land.
Okay,
but he
so
becomes smaller the longer he's on land.
He becomes smaller?
Size.
Oh, that's a twist I did not
I
see
did not
coming.
see that coming.
Yeah. So.
Who beats who in a fight, him or the Croc man?
Well, that's funny
Killer
you
Croc.
say that because James Gunn said in a Q&A for Twitter that King Shark was supposed to be Killer Croc in the original Suicide Squad,
yeah.
but it was a full CGI character and they didn't want to do that. So that's why they got
Oh,
caught.
I see.
So
Okay.
in a way, he still ended up in the show. So there you go. Or in the movie. There you go. All right.
Thank you, Roca.
That's it. Now I'm out of
Thank
here.
you.
You found him a little
Thank
bit.
you.
The big question is, did that description just sound like a good role for Michael Rooker?
I mean, you could have told me that Michael Rooker was playing Princess Dolphin in it, and I would still be interested in it, only because
Who's Princess Dolphin?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's
it's
one
a-
Sinead
it's a little-
DeFries.
It's a little character I'm working on. No, I don't really.
Did you draw it?
What?
Did you draw Princess Dolphin when you were a kid?
No,
Were they
I
in
can't. I'm not a good swimmer.
the Not So Suicide Squad?
No, I can just like, you know,
Doggy
I can
paddle?
wade. No, I can do more than doggy paddle. Thank God.
You were born in South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
a land known for its surf spots and ocean.
And great whites. So
and
you
great
stay
whites.
the hell out of the water is
Yeah.
what you do.
Oh,
Just
got
kidding.
it,
No,
got it,
you
got
don't.
it.
Actually, I went to the beach like all the time when I lived in South Africa. But no, I'm not that great of a swimmer. Anyways, I don't even know what this question was. What
The
am
question
I
was
saying?
who's Princess Dolphin?
Oh, Princess Dolphin. Oh, I don't know. I just made her up.
Oh, okay.
But she could be something. I'm going to copyright that later
Okay,
today.
cool.
But I love Michael Rooker. I will watch him in anything. I think that this rumor will end up being true just because James Gunn does love him. They're kind of like a Scorsese and DiCaprio partnership where you don't even pay attention to like how many things they've done together until you really look back on it. And hasn't he been in like every single James Gunn movie?
Yeah, that's what
I
we
think
just said. Yeah.
every single thing that he's directed.
And he didn't know he was in whatchamacallit too, the Belko Experiment.
Belko Experiment, yeah.
And he didn't even direct that one.
No, he produced
wrote
that
it.
one.
He produced that one. So
Yeah.
I just feel like it's like now they're like a partnership.
It's meant to be.
And I love it because I love James Gunn and I love Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker could do just about anything.
He
in
can
my
do
eyes,
anything.
too.
Like honestly, he's just one of those people that aside from his bigger roles, you know, he's just a good actor. Like he's actually a good actor. So I would watch him in anything. I wish that the Suicide Squad wasn't what everybody was talking about right now. I still need a little bit more time.
We need to ask one really important Suicide
Yeah.
Squad question right now, though,
Okay.
that does not pertain to Mr. Rooker because this is a big deal and I see it circulating today. Tyler
The
Cabot from, I believe, Twitter is asking, do you think that Idris Elba could be playing Deathstroke? That's the rumor floating around right now.
That rumor's been around for a couple weeks now, and I heard that. I don't even know where I heard this.
It was Joe Manganiello originally, right?
Yeah.
And now they're saying Idris Elba?
Yeah, but there was a rumor that Idris Elba was joining the cast, but not as
Deadshot. He's not taking Will Smith's role that he originated in the first Suicide Squad movie.
Okay, so Deathstroke is the latest one that they're saying.
Deathstroke, yeah. Deathstroke was teased at the end of
Batman
League or Batman v Superman. I can't even remember anymore. When they were on the boat with Jesse Eisenberg and Lex Luthor, and they were basically teeing up Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke, which I thought was genius casting there.
Right.
But I also, if we're not going to get that, I most certainly wouldn't be opposed to Idris Elba playing that role, especially because that's such a great character. I don't want to see that character go to waste.
They keep teasing us with this Deathstroke stuff, and we never get it.
Right. That's why I almost like.
It's almost anticlimactic.
Right.
Deathstroke to me in that first season of Arrow was just annoying. I'm just not like a big Deathstroke guy.
Dude, that's the thing is like.
He's got swords.
Yeah.
I really dug that. I'm really intrigued by like the troubled mindset of that character and everything he's been through and how it kind of manifests through his action. And I also really liked Manu Bennett in that role. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like. I didn't even like dislike Suicide Squad as much as everybody else did. Yeah. And I know that we're supposed to like forget it ever happened before we see this one. It's what they keep telling us to do. But I honestly I was in the minority of people who nobody could believe that I enjoyed it as much as I did.
What, Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Absolutely
And I was still entertained by it. As soon as I was like, okay, just put it out of your head that this is not supposed to be a good movie and just try to enjoy it.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Just because you enjoy it, that's really all that matters.
But my whole point is like, even with that being said, I still feel like it's way too soon for me to be like trying to talk so much about Suicide Squad. Yeah,
Agreed.
I just like it's one of those things where I'm like, I just want more time to like actually, not because I want to forget because it was so awful, just because I want to forget because I want to be excited, going into it.
I just can't get the image of Cara Delevingne doing like some weird hula
Well,
dance
that
at
was
the
the first thing I had to put out of my head.
Yeah,
Once you put
brutal.
that out of your head,
Yeah.
it gets better because she is the absolute worst part of that movie.
You've got until 2021 to get some distance, more distance from that movie, and then you'll jump into James Gunn's rendition, and I have a lot of faith in James Gunn, so I believe he's going to do good on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and this as well. All right, we're wrapping up our special Friday episode with a big question for the two of you.
Oh, no.
I am going to pitch you 4 movies in theaters this weekend, and I want you to tell me, if you could only pick one, which one would you pay to see?
Okay.
Ready for it? Let's go with Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
That's your option. The Hustle with Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson. You could maybe revisit Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
Or you could stay home and watch Wine Country.
Oh, the Amy
Poehler
Tina
directed.
Fey.
Oh, man, that trailer was good.
Really good.
Oh, I'm still going to go Detective Pikachu just because I think it was tracking at what, like a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes? I think it was at.
It's probably
for a
somewhere
movie,
up there.
For like a movie.
With furry people.
Furry people and.
Cody's in the booth of freaking out. He loves Pokemon. He and Christian Rubalcaba
and
live for it.
I was part of the Pokemon Go craze, that really took over my life.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
What's my favorite? I don't have a favorite.
Pick one. Just pick one.
Donnie, Eric, Brandon, Synergy, Laura.
No, it was.
Lisa.
You know what it was? It was the one with the squiggle on it.
Dorian.
Do you have it? Does somebody remember?
And
I almost said Hufflepuff, but that's not it.
And
Pollywog? Was
Gary.
that one?
Maybe,
But he has like a squiggle in his stomach.
Maybe that. No, but I was talking about his hair. There's the one with the
Sarah.
squiggle hair. But growing up, Pikachu was
Kelly.
always my favorite when I actually played it on my Game Boy
Kara.
when I was a kid. But then I lost interest. But recently, I remember.
Will.
Will? Recently, I remember in Pokemon Go, my favorites became the ones that you had to try to get the hardest. Pikachu was very hard to get, and I did find him in my living room once.
Well, you know what picking Pikachu as your favorite means, according to the GQ article.
No.
You're basic.
Well, that's why I didn't say
basic.
Pikachu. That's why I didn't say Pikachu. But I also don't remember any of their names, so it's fine.
You guys, how can
There was
nobody
one,
here name
wasn't
any
there one
Pokemon
Salazar
but
or
Pikachu?
Salamander?
Charizard. Charizard.
That I approve
Charizard.
of. That I approve of.
Yeah.
I think Cody just walked out of the booth. I'm not sure.
Anyways, yeah, Detective Pikachu, moral of the story. That's the one I would pick.
All
Just
right.
because it's new. I've seen Endgame twice, and as much as I love it and loved it even the second time I watched it, I think that the fact that it's tracking higher than I would have ever expected, I probably still would have seen it even if it was at a 50, but 70 for Detective Pikachu? I feel like we should.
It's worth seeing. I would
Yeah.
recommend it if you're interested. What are you picking, Macuga?
I'm going to go wine country. I haven't seen Amy Poehler and Tina Fey in so long, and I
so
love
funny.
them. The trailer's hysterical. It reminds me of like Bridesmaids 2 for the
Yeah,
most part.
yeah.
But I'm staying in to watch that one. I need to take the missus to see Endgame, and that's the highest on the list. And then Shazam somewhere down the line. And then I'll probably, I know.
She still hasn't seen Shazam?
I haven't seen Shazam.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And then Pikachu. I'm sorry, Cody. I'm going to put Pikachu low on the list because I don't know anything about the Pokemon. I don't.
You didn't play Pokemon Go? I thought you did.
No. Sinead.
What do you mean? No.
Sinead. Do I look like the kind of people that I don't know anything about Pokemon?
You
and
don't
then
have to know anything.
Yeah,
the game
I
will
didn't-
teach you
I
the
didn't-
basics.
I
Yeah,
know,
I
but
didn't
then I
remember
saw like
anything.
people get hit by cars at Comic-Con. I was like, I'm not doing
I
that.
almost
You're
like got myself into a
responsible.
lot of trouble
Yeah.
because of it, but it was so much fun.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to cheat at this game a little bit, and I'm going to name a movie that isn't on this list. I'm
El
going to go
Chicano.
with backtracking and watching Long Shot because I missed that, and it makes me sad because I've heard great things.
Long shot.
Yeah.
What's that one?
With Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron.
yeah.
Heard great things.
I've
It
heard
looks-
really good things.
And it
haven't
looks
seen
like it's tracking very well in
Yeah.
its second weekend, so that one might hang around a little longer
Cool.
than I was
Alright.
initially expecting. That is it. That is a wrap on week 1 of New Movie Talk.
Way to go, Perry. Awesome work.
That
really
sounded
good stuff.
That sounded super
It
sarcastic.
did sound
but-
super sarcastic, but
I
he
will
wasn't
tell
being
you-
sarcastic.
I will tell you right now, everyone in this building has been super supportive. This guy right here
to go,
has.
Perry.
You've really been in my corner since we started coming up with ideas for the newer iteration of the show. So thank you for your
course,
support,
of course,
Macuga.
of course.
Sinead, thank you so much for
Of course,
being here and
thanks
for
for having me.
celebrating week 1. Cody in the booth, you got our backs. Dorian in the live chat, thanks so much. Guess what? Next week, 5 days again worth of movie talk. We are going to have a whole lot of fun. Can't wait to see you there. Like and share this episode. Tell everybody you know about Collider Movie Talk on the YouTube channel and also in podcast form as well. Have a great weekend, guys. We will see you Monday, 3 p.m. PT Live.
Bye.